Castbender Podcast is proudly partnered with Avatar, the Legend of KorraOnline.com and ComicRelated.com. Hello everybody and welcome to episode 60 of Castbender, your number one Last Airbender and Korra podcast. You're back again. You're back. You're listeting to the show
just
every
like
week.
Backstreet.
Back, all right. You're here with your co-host, Teagan Chevrier.
Hi.
AJ Lewis.
Hello.
And, of course, myself, Tyrell Lisson. So last week, we talked about Korra and explained her character development. The previous week, we interviewed Kevel. So if you haven't checked out those two episodes, episode 58 and 59, go and check those out.
They're on episode
60. Yeah, 60.
Holy crap.
60 weeks of Castbender altogether. Just over like a year and a half. Yeah, a year and a half. And we got a couple more years to go.
Well, actually, probably coming up on like maybe
2 years.
Yeah. July.
Well,
it's only like 5 months away.
Yeah. The show started in 2012. And it's now 2013. 14.
It was like July
2013. 12. Yeah, it was like late
mid to late July.
Yeah. Yeah, it's on the Facebook page.
We had like 2 weeks and then we took like a 2-week break.
Yeah. Yeah.
But either way,
there's been some breaks in there, but altogether Castbender has been an entity for almost 2 years and spanning over 3 years.
Over 100 hours of podcasting.
Yeah. So we hate the show, everybody. We just hate it.
Let's quit patting ourselves in the back and start bashing Korra.
Of course. So before we get into any topics for this week, we just want to go over some of the news-related stuff. So earlier this week, July. I'm in the July mood.
It's Christmas in July.
It's actually terribly cold outside right now.
We still have like 10 feet of snow.
Yeah. So January 24th, that's more like it, 2014, Brian used Tumblr like he does all the time.
As opposed to using like Flickr.
Yeah, who uses Flickr? He released an image specifically of Korra and Asami from book 3. So that
specifically because they're the only two in it.
Yeah. Actually, Bolin's in it. Before this, Bolin was pretty much the only one that was in it because we got like 2 pictures of Bolin in a row, I think. Or was it?
We got the screaming picture and him and Mako waking up and Lin being very exasperated.
Yeah. So this picture is actually in black and white, so that takes out a lot of speculation in some regards, but it doesn't really matter because we think we've figured it out. We're going to discuss it. Specifically in the picture, we see Asami holding up punching pads and Korra standing in a fighting position with both her hands in fists, so it looks like they might be training for something. There's some trees and some clouds in the background, so the location is not necessarily clear, probably in Republic City, but there's a couple things that we want to take from this and really talk about. First of all, it looks like Korra and Asami are actually talking to each other, so the friendship seems to be in contact.
It's what I was saying in the post-Castbender show. They're going to unite as friends and kill Mako.
Yeah. And they seem to be bonding together. Kevel specifically said this, and he also wrote a post that AJ went over in the post-Castbender show about the friendship. So this actually confirms some of those points. And I don't know. It's going to be interesting looking forward to the Korra-Asami friendship, and it's important to stress the word friendship because there are a lot of fans who are convinced that Korra, the man version, will end up in a relationship. So I see. We're not getting involved in shipping because shipping is just bad. What do you feel about shipping, Teagan?
I'm personally a fan of the Corey ship.
The Corey ship, yeah. Oh yeah, we renamed AJ, by the way. His real name is Shirley.
Yeah. I'm glad you remembered that conversation from 3 days ago.
Okay, so Teagan, AJ and I have done specific episodes about shipping, but you haven't.
Yeah.
Let's talk about shipping for a little bit. Obviously, it's not just in Korra, and
Good.
you're in a lot of fandoms and involved around a lot of fandoms, so you've seen a lot of shipping because you've also been on Tumblr a lot. Tell us a little bit about how you feel about the shipping in Korra. No.
One could say you've seen a lot of ship.
Oh, you're so funny, AJ. Teagan.
I don't really ship anyone in Korra. I don't know. I feel like none of them have chemistry. They should all
Who's
just
your
die
OTP?
alone.
Yeah, who's your OTP?
I don't think I have one in Korra. Like
What's an OTP?
one true pair.
Oh, one
You
true
have
pair.
to have a one true pair.
Shows how much I know about shipping.
I don't feel any chemistry between any of them.
Oh,
Am I gonna get shot?
Is that a test to the fact that the characters need to show some more development?
I don't know. Or maybe
let's stop the character development
yeah.
talk.
I think rather than that, it's just that it's a younger show. So there's
I will reiterate that Avatar: The Last Airbender was a show for children.
And it had more.
Some of the
See,
best
I feel like some of
shipping I've ever seen in my life.
whatever. I don't believe that. Like, I feel like, I don't know, there's no, like sexy vibes because it's, on Nickelodeon.
Have you looked at Korra?
I have looked at Korra.
No,
she's a beast.
You know what I want to say is I saw specifically on the forums people, not directly saying, but indirectly saying that they were sexually interested in Korra, who is a cartoon character, and nothing against you for being into that kind of stuff, but that's a little bit weird.
I get it, but I don't get I get that weird. you like a character, but in that way. But I don't get those vibes from Korra at all. To me, Korra is just how old is Korra?
18.
What? I thought she was much younger.
No.
Yeah.
Have you seen
Mako?
She's got boobs. Kids can get boobs at age 9.
Okay, this isn't a teenage development show. Mako's 19, Bolin is 17, and Asami is 19 as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
Legal.
So
in Canada.
Goodness.
Okay, can we stop talking about this? But I'm talking about shipping. You don't think there's any compelling shipping?
No, I don't
pairs?
get any sort of romantic vibes. I get that they wanted to be in relationships just because they were I don't want to be alone, but I didn't find that it was romantic.
Yeah. There's not a lot of shipping options compared to Avatar: The Last Airbender because you had a lot more characters.
I have the one to trump you all.
Okay.
Linzen.
Oh, Tenzin and Lin. I can see that one.
That is the most romantic thing you've ever heard of ever.
No. No.
See, I don't know. I don't think the shipping. There's no place for shipping in Korra. There's places for other things that need to be done rather than shipping, just not shipping. But okay, let's get back to it. So, I think that
that's a wonderful tangent we just had.
There's no chance that they're in a relationship at this point.
Korra and Asami? No.
Yeah, exactly. But
are you crazy?
Do you think it's fair to say? Well, some people think that. True. Do you think it's possible for them to be friends?
Friends.
It's very possible for them to be friends.
Because apparently they forget everything they go through.
Yes.
Well, naturally, but if you both get screwed over by a guy, then why not become friends and hate the guy together?
Yeah.
So, Cavill is saying that if he's correct, it does look like Earth Kingdom-based trading gear due to the rim around the shoulder and chest pad, but it's hard to tell because the color was taken off strategically. I personally disagree because I think it looks more like pro bending gear to me.
Well, pull up a picture of a Kyoshi warrior.
The Kyoshi warrior.
Yeah. Because I think it kind of looks like a Kyoshi warrior's outfit. Do
you think Asami is going to be a Kyoshi warrior?
Well,
I don't think it does.
I think she's going to take the place of that badass non-bending lady type person from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Here, AJ, you got this gear,
mm-hmm.
and then you got that gear. I don't think it looks that similar. Maybe in the shoulder a little bit.
I think that it's probably not Kyoshi warrior outfit, but it looks remarkably similar.
Let's talk about that though. As if Kyoshi is a pro bender. Oh wait, here's pro bender gear. Look how similar it looks. The same type of thing.
They all. I think it's just bad bending armor to withstand bending attacks.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about that then. So we always complain that Asami doesn't really have any role, and that Asami should probably be relevant if she's part of Team Avatar. So her being trained as a Kyoshi warrior, would that be an effective way of bringing her into the plot? And let's explain Kyoshi warrior a little bit to Teagan. So Kyoshi warrior...
She met Kyoshi.
You met Kyoshi.
Yeah.
So you know what the Kyoshi warriors are.
Yeah, they were the ones that were all girls.
Yeah, Suki and that one that Sokka kind of likes.
And more specifically, Suki is... later on in the third season, she becomes like a very main character, part of Team Avatar. And she's like trained acrobatically. Yeah. She's been training for like her whole life.
Essentially, they can probably withstand a lot of bending.
Yeah. They're better than most benders.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you think it would be a compelling story arc for her to be a Kyoshi warrior? And it kind of fits in with the whole theme if it's kind of Earth Kingdom stuff.
Mm-hmm. I could see her like meeting up with Suki if she's still alive.
Oh God, like, old Suki.
Can you imagine old Suki? Oh, that'd be grimy.
So you can see it though.
I could definitely see it as like a subplot, like for a couple episodes, maybe even one episode. Like because if Sokka can master a sword in one episode, Asami can. Well, a lot of the part of Kyoshi, like the Kyoshi warriors, is very acrobatic, and we don't see that at all with Asami. She just kind of touches people with a glove. Mm-hmm. So it'd be interesting to see her transition from a not good character to a decent character.
What do you feel, Tyrell? Do you think it would be... she needs... If you're looking at it, right now she's a blank slate, mostly. She's got some things.
She's got emotional scarring.
Which most of the characters have, so it's not really unique. She needs to add a layer to it.
We take out the common denominator, she's at a 0.
Yeah, she's at a 0. She needs to add something to her character. And the last thing I want is each character to be boring. So that's why I'm being a little bit critical of it, because I want her to have some potency when it's coming to the show. Like, I want her to be a potent character that has, like, relevance in Team Avatar. So do you think that Kyoshi warrior? No, AJ. Teagan's going to say it.
All right. But I have...
Yeah, you have a point, but great.
Okay. Well, I think the sort of like the ideals that the Kyoshi warriors represent, specifically in the one episode I saw in Avatar, represent a lot of the same stuff that they were trying to get across in Legend of Korra. Okay. And especially with Asami, who's like, she's female, she doesn't have a dude, she's running this big company, like empowered ladies sort of thing, so it could work.
Okay, AJ.
It has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but I want to interject that instead of calling the group of people in Korra Team Avatar, we just call them Team Korra, just to differentiate for the audience.
Oh, Team Korra. Yeah, all right. Or Team Avatar 2.0 is another popular term.
Yeah.
Okay, so
because if we say Team Avatar, they flip-flop.
Right, okay. So yeah, we're talking specifically right now about Team Korra or Team Avatar 2.0 specifically right now. Let's go to the comments and discuss a little bit about what people have to say. So Josh, he said, what really intrigues him about the picture is not the clothing or the location, but what Korra and Asami are doing. You can see that Korra and Asami are immersed in some sort of combat training. Then again, Korra may just be relieving some stress. If Korra is indeed learning how to fight better using hand-to-hand combat, then the question is why? Could it be the reason that this season Korra will encounter a foe that is immune to bending, or will she lose her bending for a second time? That would be very interesting, an interesting plot. Korra having to learn new ways of fighting as opposed to using her bending. And to be honest, I really enjoyed the hand-to-hand combat in book 1. One thing I want to say is that I think it would be stupid if she lost her bending again.
Mm-hmm.
But
you can't recycle the plot line.
No, I think because it would just be like, come on. At this point, it'd be come on. I think
the only thing that can take down the Avatar is when she loses her bending.
And a character that's immune to bending. We kind of already not really saw that, but Amon, bending wasn't necessarily the most effective way to bring Amon down. And lastly,
he could have been such a good villain. Oh yeah, he would have been so good.
And again, I think Korra already has enough on her plate in terms of if she has a conflict to overcome with herself rather than like a foe, I think it would be specifically dealing with being a sole avatar without any avatar state. Without any past connections to other avatars. I think that's enough for that side.
Well, that like, is the Avatar state going to be just as powerful without the knowledge of the past avatars? Because that's what the Avatar state is, essentially.
Yeah. See, I think she needs to... It would be a compelling plot line if, instead of relying on the Avatar state, like you see her do a little bit more in Book 2, that she uses bending instead solely and works on that aspect. And spiritually, even though she's lost those past connections, if she works spiritually, then she might actually start regaining some of this stuff. Because it seems to be destroyed, but I don't know if it's necessarily destroyed. Maybe it's forgotten.
Well, I believe the creators have said that the past avatars weren't destroyed. They're still known, everything's still, but she can learn about them through other people.
Yeah, which might spark this reconnection. What do you think? I also had another idea that you could touch on, Teagan, that the whole point is maybe that Asami's learning how to fight better, or this could be a compelling subplot with Korra and Asami becoming more friends, while at the same time both of them maybe possibly getting better at physical combat. Because even though Asami isn't really explained in terms of how she became good at martial arts, other than the fact that she wanted to learn how to protect herself, or her dad wanted to,
we get the Batman explanation.
Yeah,
I was rich, then therefore I'm good at martial arts.
Yeah. So do you think that could be a subplot, them learning to fight together better, or use each other for practice, etc.?
Yeah, maybe. Like, I think it would be good for Asami to be better at life in general. Because in Season 1, she was kind of like the techie person, which works in Republic City, but then obviously, as soon as they left Republic City, it was not working so well.
Well, I can relate that to, like, Dragon Ball Z, and they had the character Bulma.
Yeah.
Who was very techie.
Mm-hmm.
And she just carried around, like, little capsules that she threw, but that was Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. So I feel like if Asami... I don't know, got just plain old better at fighting, then that would make her more useful.
She can chi block, can't she? No?
She's not.
That
She's no chi blocker.
She could... It would be interesting if she became a chi blocker.
That would have been a good thing for her father to train her in, defend yourself against Benders, the thing that killed your mother.
I'm trying to find some comments, but I'm just getting spammed by some really dumb argument between two people on this. Okay, let's see if I can find some good questions here. One thing that I want to address is if you want to discuss Avatar or Korra with us, please don't make it personal. Like, that really just ruins the whole thing. Once you make the argument personal and you feel like you're being attacked or you're attacking somebody else, it's not about Avatar anymore. Okay, honestly, this goes on for like 3 pages. I'm trying to find some actual good comments here.
All right.
Okay.
In regards to that.
Okay, I have one here. RazorStar90 says, looks more like a firebending gear Korra wore during her firebending exam. It looks very similar to the pro bending training gear in Book 1. I will say that Asami is pretty brave to take a hit from Korra. Korra's a strong chick. Remember when she threw the ball at Mako and he went flying? What will happen when she punches something? Okay.
Yeah, so Asami seems to be like that 80-pound little tiny girl.
Yeah.
That you could like pick up. And
well, let's talk about that. So it's firebending. Maybe they actually finally went to the Fire Nation again.
If my speculation is true, Book 4 is going to be about fire.
Book 4 is going to be about fire. Yeah, I could see that because that would be an interesting thing, ending on fire.
Again.
Yeah, again. Apparently, okay, people are like, "Oh, is Korra learning chi blocking?" I don't think so, because
there's no reason for her to learn chi blocking. We've never seen a bender with chi blocking other than Amon, I guess.
Kyle wants, the fans need to realize that Nick wouldn't allow a lesbian relationship in the show because it's mainly aimed for 12 onwards.
It's sad, but it's true.
It's true.
They won't put.
I don't know. They hinted at the gay stuff in SpongeBob.
This is Korra.
I know, but
this
it's
is not
Nick.
SpongeBob.
But it's Nickelodeon. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're brave enough. Like, they struggled.
No, I don't think it would be, out like the fans wanted to.
They struggled with making Korra a female to begin with. So I don't think they would go anywhere from that because...
What would they have done with the love triangle if she was a male?
They just would have put 2 girls in there instead. Yeah. See, I think it's good that Korra's a female, not for any other reason that it's a good change. It's a good to have Korra as the lead character as a female. There needs to be more.
We had Kyoshi as the trademark girl avatar.
Yeah.
And now hopefully Korra can live up to being
because
just as bad.
And you had Yang Chen.
Yes,
but the thing is, like, those stories weren't really explained as much, so it's good that Korra can have an explained story. Now, if it's good in the end, that's great, and if it's not, that kind of sucks, but we'll see how it plays out. The female characters are great, and even though that Katara wasn't necessarily the Avatar or anything, she was another compelling character.
She was just about as good as Aang. She took down Azula.
Yeah, so, which is awesome.
Even not to mention Azula, who is like
crazy,
the definition of badass woman.
Yeah.
Other than the mental illness part.
So, that's the news piece. Let's move on to the topic here. We'll give you a quick music break, and then after the break, we'll talk a little bit about Korra and if she is a fully realized avatar or not. And this is from the forum, so you can join this discussion after the show comes out. And then we'll also be talking about maybe a little bit about the Earth Queen being a villain. So we'll see you after the break. Back from a music break, and AJ's just chilling.
I'm just dancing.
We just watched an 80s inspired Better Call Saul fan-made trailer in the off bit there. And we were talking about our numbers because if you don't already know, we started a television website with Kel from Avatar, The Legend of Korra Online.com.
That was a secret project we mentioned, like, I don't know, last week, the week before.
No, but it was in yesterday's vlog.
Ah, wow.
So, yeah, so if you want to go check that out, you can go do that at criticallyscripted.wordpress.com. We're getting a full domain soon, don't worry. But you can find us there. And it's fun stuff, especially if you like a lot of television. We're doing news right now. We're going to get into more opinion/column pieces in a couple of weeks. So it's going to be really cool. But more on Korra. We're going to be talking about a forum topic that was just actually started today, I believe, by Wise Lion Turtle. So
I love that guy.
I love that guy too. He's a cool guy. Actually, honestly, probably one of the best posters on there.
Good job, Wise
Good
Lion
on you,
Turtle.
Wise Lion Turtle. We're big fans.
Your name is very suggestive of your intelligence.
So his form is entitled as Korra Fully Realized Avatar for You. So many people have many different thinkings about this, and
different thinkings.
Methinks. And I want to discuss it because for me personally, she isn't. But let's hear what you guys have to say and why. Of course, when you answer, I will say what I agree and what I don't. But I'm just curious about your thinking. So there's one comment so far. Actually, there's multiple comments now, actually. So let's just go around first before we divulge into other people's comments. And we'll start with Teagan. Do you think Korra is a fully realized avatar?
I don't think she is yet, but I think that she is, getting there.
Okay.
She's still like a teenager. We see her improving spiritually, blah, blah, blah. She just has to, master them. Mm-hmm. So I don't think she's there yet, but I think that she's definitely on her way.
Yeah. A lot of people say she's mastered all the elements.
Okay. My turn?
Yeah, AJ, your turn.
Technically, I would say yes, she is a fully realized avatar. Because she stood in that, glowy ball thing.
Yeah.
And she, became spiritually balanced and whatnot. But time will tell, because that was the season finale. And like I've said in the post-Castbender show, I'm not going to take anything to heart over the season break until it's shown again in season 3.
Yeah. So Avatar Aang said, not Avatar, the boy from the show, but the forum poster said...
The boy from the show.
The boy from the show. I think that Korra is a fully realized avatar, and this is the reason why. She can bend all 4 elements and use the avatar state whenever she wants. She has stopped an anti-bending revolution in 1,000 years of darkness. Her speech at book 2 end signifies her kind of spiritual growth. She even defeats Unavatu by connecting to her own inner spirit. Is that what we're
calling him now? Unavatu?
I don't like that.
No.
She puts her avatar duty in front of her breaking up with her love. According to some people, disposes her lust towards Avatar or to Mako. Main point: she's an independent avatar now. No past connections, which is kind of a creator's hint.
No
what?
We don't need no man.
We don't need no man. No connections with past avatars, which apparently the creator's hint, which will tell you that she's a fully realized avatar now. So, what do we think about these opinions? I kind of agree with some of them, and I kind of don't agree with some of them. AJ?
Again, I say technically she is a fully realized avatar by the definition of Avatar: Last Airbender.
Okay, yeah.
But she didn't go through all like those chakra things, but whatever. That's probably not required. But spiritually and mentally, I would say she's not ready to be like the protector of the world.
And it's kind of sad that like it is big that she stopped an anti-bending revolution and 1,000 Years of Darkness, but she did it in such the stupidest way. And that's not her fault, that's the creator's fault for not really telling the story.
Again, we have to go back to like the first season. It was so small scale.
Yeah, it was very small scale.
You're telling me the rest of the world couldn't stop like a group of 500 people?
Yeah, especially like Republic City, though it's large. It's not necessarily hard to protect the city versus the whole entire world because it's such a small area.
I agree that it is a small area.
You agree that it is a small area. And how about the 10,000 Years of Darkness?
Oh,
like that to me it's a huge feat. Obviously,
it is a huge feat. If it didn't take 5 minutes to be the Dark Avatar,
yeah. But there are some points to why Korra's a fully realized avatar. There now, Wise Lion Turtle retorted.
Hello, Wise Lion Turtle again.
First, every other avatar could bend all the elements too, but wasn't fully realized only by knowing that. How do you feel about that point?
Pardon, what?
Okay, so he said that most of the avatars had knew how to bend all the elements. So that doesn't mean they're a fully realized avatar.
Correct, but they wouldn't do that glowy ball thing.
Mm-hmm. And then she's like, she hasn't. Without Mako, she would fail. And that stopped the revolution as Amon revealing himself to the people. He could stay underwater. He was a goddamn waterbender and could stay hidden. So
that was really stupid of him.
What, to come out?
Yeah.
Yeah, it really was stupid of him because he could have escaped. Because he got gutsy. He got really gutsy there.
He had to know at that point. But he may have been like surprised that Korra had like airbending still.
Yeah. He also says that her speech has nothing to do with anything.
I totally agree.
Yeah, because like as an avatar in itself, you're not fully realized if you're a good speaker.
Okay.
I don't like the speech. A lot of people think the speech is great. I think it was a solid speech, but it wasn't anything overly great.
It wasn't I Have a Dream.
Yeah, it wasn't I Have a Dream.
Anyway, that's not when she became fully realized. She became a fully realized avatar when she sat in that stupid tree. The Tree of Time, or some other generic name they gave it. The Tree of All Happiness and whatnot. She went into the glowy ball thing that's like, your chakras are aligned, here, have the full avatar powers. And then she went into a giant blue demon monster and killed the other dark demon monster.
Yeah. Also, I have a dream one day that Korra will be a good avatar.
I have a dream that one day Korra will develop as a character.
And for her avatar duty has nothing to do with her breaking up. Her stubborn and mean behavior has to do with it. Mako broke up with her because he was tired of handling her behavior and still blah blah blah. So that's essentially saying her relationship has nothing to do with her being a fully realized avatar, which again is correct.
I completely agree with that as well. Wise Lion Turtle, you and I share a lot of similar ideas.
Yeah.
Hit me up on Twitter at the real AJ Lewis, and we'll have some conversations.
Okay. Oh God. Another person said that a fully realized avatar doesn't mean to be perfect. The whole life, you realize the new things, you learn new things, and you develop. The whole life is a process of learning. So, can you be a fully realized avatar? Like, can you actually be a fully realized avatar? Because there's always more you can learn.
Yes, you can be a fully realized avatar because you master the avatar state. You master the abilities of the avatar.
Yeah. Apparently, so Roku said that he personally said that it was his mistake by sparing Sozin because they're old relations. If he did, the war wouldn't even start. So, do you think that... No problem. AJ's Siriing in the middle of the podcast. Oh, hi, Siri. So,
she's copyrighted. You can't use her name.
Let's talk about this. I think we've talked about this a little bit in another episode. Was Roku a fully realized avatar?
Yes.
Okay.
I would assume so, because like him and whatnot, they did the thing.
Sozin.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
He went through the avatar journey.
Yeah. Now, Sozin gets off. Roku gets off with a lot of stuff that he did wrong.
Well, he only really did one thing wrong, and that was leave Sozin alive.
Which was his friend. That parallel's common, because Harry Potter does it with Dumbledore. It's like not a new thing.
Aang would have done the same thing with Zuko. And we see that in the search. Or not the search, the promise.
Yeah.
He would not have killed Zuko.
Yeah, he wouldn't have. And see, but again, it doesn't matter. Because ultimately your avatar duty should be ranked above your friendships. As terrible as it sounds, like obviously you wouldn't want to betray your friend because you're the avatar, but if your avatar duty calls, you have to, because like Katara...
Well, I don't think it should. It should be up to the avatar to decide if he should kill someone. Like,
true.
If he's needed, or if the avatar is needed to step in order to end something, then let that be that. But the end goal for the avatar shouldn't be to kill anyone. It's to keep peace.
Korra Rava said that she agrees with everything every people said about being in the avatar state. Ultimately, I just think half of the points made for her being a realized avatar are not right. But again, she is a fully realized avatar.
Because she went in the glowy ball thing.
Yeah, she went into the glowy ball thing. Now, but Korra still has room to grow. Teagan, where do you think Korra needs to grow in her bending ability and stuff?
I still think she just needs more spiritualness. Because, obviously, she went into the spirit world and was, doing stuff. But I still feel like she was just kind of, thrust into it. She doesn't really fully grasp it. I think that's where she needs to improve.
Yeah, and, ultimately, I don't know if Korra will get there, not because of her character development, but some avatars aren't necessarily as spiritual as others.
I would say Kyoshi wasn't overly spiritual.
Yeah, I don't know, Kurek probably wasn't either. They seem more of a physical type. And it doesn't mean that you can't be a good avatar if you don't look into the spiritual side. But, a lot of people will think that you had to be because Aang was sort of spiritual, but that kind of goes along with him being an airbender at heart. And I don't think Roku was necessarily overly spiritual either.
I'd say he was
more
spiritual because he did the Fire Sage thing.
Oh, right, that's true. Yeah.
But a point that I want to make is Kyoshi is seen as a really good avatar because she did something that mattered. Like, she saved Kyoshi Island.
Yeah.
Korra, she stopped this thing from happening, but she stopped it at the beginning of it. If it had gone on, it may have been better. And this isn't saying, Korra's not on par with anyone. She's probably getting up there now.
By the end, it'll be interesting to where we rank her.
Currently, I rank her above Kurek.
Yeah.
And Yang Chen, because we don't know anything about Yang Chen.
Yeah. And I think Korra, especially this season, if they develop something that actually is hugely monumental to the world, that doesn't take 5 minutes to defeat like they did in the other season, or season 2, I think that Korra will ultimately defeat it because that's the point, but then that could rank her up. Essentially, you need really, really good storytelling on the part of the creators to make sure that Korra is on par with some of the other avatars.
I don't think Korra deserves to be ranked
yet
in the ranks of the great avatars yet.
Yeah, she hasn't done enough yet, but 2 more seasons, hopefully we see a little bit more from her. And yeah, I don't know. I think Korra could be, and again, Korra doesn't have to be as spiritual. I think she still needs the spiritual side, though, because every avatar does, but I don't think she's quite there yet, but she's definitely working on it.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it for that segment, and we're going to come back after the break and talk about an article Kevel wrote again about the Earth Queen and her potential role in Legend of Korra, Book 3. Everybody, we're back from the break, and so in the break we just had some people post on the last week's castbender explanation thing. Again, more people just saying the same stuff about Korra and her development. We're not really going to go over it because at this point it's just
the dead horse is kicked so much.
Yeah, our points are our points, and thus it's not open for discussion at this point because there's nothing new to discuss. It's already been discussed. Again, just to go over, her book 1 character, we didn't enjoy. Book 2 showed a little bit of growth. We liked aspects of it. We didn't like certain aspects of it. We think Tenzin was the star of book 2 and Varric, and that's all there really is to say at this point.
Yeah, I would just add that again, until next season, when they prove that character development that was rushed upon her at the end carries over, and she's not this spoiled, rotten kid again in the start, that why are you being mean to me? Stop it! I'm gonna hurt you. Kind of vibe she's giving off all the time is gone.
Yeah, the ultimate test is next season for Korra before ultimately they make a final decision.
And if it's bad, who knows? Maybe we'll just stop the fucking show.
Yeah, we'll stop the show totally. No, we will continue podcasting for the rest of Avatar: The Legend of Korra until it's done. So after the 4th season, and then hopefully a better show comes on. That was a joke, but I don't know.
Or was it?
I really just don't want to see the Avatar being a main character anymore. I'm kind of done with that whole thing. I want to see another character be a main character. You know, somebody who's not the Avatar. I think the Avatar could still be involved, potentially, but I just don't want to see the Avatar.
I'd like to see the perspective of the Cabbage Man.
The Cabbage Man, yeah, the Cabbage Man.
Or see, someone in Republic City watching Korra do all these stupid things.
The Legend of Pabu.
The Legend of Pabu, yeah.
Oh, kill it with fire.
The Legend of Varric, that's my working title.
I'd be down.
Yeah.
It's essentially the Better Call Saul of Avatar.
No, Varric, instead of having him now, you could show him rising up from whatever he was as a child to a multi-millionaire. I think that'd be a compelling series.
I think that would be probably one of the episodes that's coming up in the next season.
Yeah.
If we see Barry again, we're going to get a backstory.
Yeah, that would be cool. But you never know. So we're going to be talking about the Earth Queen being the villain. So Kevin wrote a post on the 23rd of January talking about Book 3 speculation, the villain, the Earth Queen. So over the course of this off-season, speculation has begun over who's going to be the villain next season.
Speculation on the off-season?
Yeah.
Who would have guessed?
Yeah, who would have guessed? You got a few names out there. I've been really campaigning for multiple villains or multiple layered conflicts because Book 1, villain's gone. Book 2, villain's gone. There's no overlap. There's no anti-heroes.
Well, we don't know. Maybe the Dark Avatar is going to come back.
Oh, yeah. I highly doubt it. So,
Oh.
no, but there's no hangover with any anti-villains. There's no
exactly. The
continued
only thing
conflict
that was not resolved from last season is Varric.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to see that, hopefully. So Kevel talks about the Earth Queen. So we know that the next book is going to be revolving around a lot of the Earth Kingdom. And this character could be could be interesting. So we got Amon, who was a non-bender. We got
he was a waterbender.
Or sorry, yeah, Amon was, pretended to be a non-bender who believed in equality. Well, Unalak was the tribal chief, so he wanted power, and it doomed him. And then we've seen Ozai, in the same vein, desire to manipulate the balance of power in the Avatar world.
He devastated the balance of the world, and he paid the ultimate price.
Okay.
Teagan doesn't get it yet.
No. So all these villains, Cavill suggests, and it's true, all had similar desires, okay? Like the typical archetypal villain.
I'm going to take over the world.
Yeah, even though half them in Korra just took over a mediocre portion of something rather than the whole entire world.
There was going to be 10,000 years of darkness, but not really.
Mm-hmm. And it's hard for the writers to do the exact same thing over again. And that's what I said before, that you can't necessarily have the same story over again. And it's kind of getting old and recycled. So maybe it's time to introduce some new plot lines that have not been seen in any Avatar yet, which would be kind of cool. That's why I'm really against the revisiting of like Sozin's Comet, even though I think it's really cool. I just don't think that I want to revisit it because I can just go back and watch Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I just want it as an Easter egg.
That'd be cool.
Just like, hey, look. So is the comet.
Mm-hmm. So, what if we skipped that type of narrative and went to something different? How about if we did a villain like Cavill suggested, and I've suggested on the forum, I did it in the form of Varric, he's doing it in the form of the Earth Queen, something revolving around intelligence as opposed to power and fear. The intelligent type villain can be very interesting.
Are we talking like Moriarty intelligent, or...?
Yeah, I'm talking about inherently very smart, very sly, tricky type deal. You know what I mean? Could be crazy, but not necessarily power crazy or stuff like that. More intelligent, more calculated, more cool. Maybe more like of a Severus Snape type style. You know, that type of, hard to figure out, the Moriarty type thing, but Moriarty's kind of a bit crazy, definitely.
Oh, well. Who knows?
Yeah, that's what makes the facade so much better, that you don't really know what the person is up to, and it just makes the plot so much more twisted and suspenseful, so you don't necessarily know what's going on. Because with Korra, you knew from the very beginning what each person was. Like, you could pretty much figure them out. So
you had two choices for the love interest, and then turned out to be the bad boy instead of the goofy character.
Yeah. And book 3 could definitely stand out. So
I said that about book 2 as well.
Well, it could. Yeah, again, see, that's the problem. Each of these things have potential. They just don't necessarily work out how we think they should work out. And based off the title, book 3 will tell a story of change. So maybe definitely to do with the effects of Korra's decisions about leaving the portals open.
And I think it might deal with like the changes in society as well over the past 70 years.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
what should go well with like the Earth Queen? Maybe. Oh.
Okay, go.
Here goes crazy theory.
Speak up a bit.
So the whole monarchy of the Earth Kingdom has collapsed. It's no longer a monarchy because it's 70 years later.
Yeah.
But the Earth Queen is this like person who wants to be in power, and she wants to reinstate the regime, as you will. And in that way, she's going to take a whole bunch of earthbenders like the Dai Li and take over Bossing Se and become the leader again.
Okay.
And Korra has to stop that.
That's interesting. So you think that's how she's going to introduce herself? Teagan, how would you think the Earth Queen would introduce herself? Do you think she's going to come off as like a villain right away, or she's going to be trying to play the friend?
Oh, I have no idea. I kind of hope that she plays the friend and then turns out to be evil, sort of like Varric. Like, I hope she's not just like right away bad guy,
So more the Varric path, not that Varric's necessarily evil, but the more of like, I'm friends, but I'm still in it for my own good. But more so even.
We don't really know. You want to watch to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
Except, not like, I know they're labeled bad guys, so I know they're just going to do evil stuff.
What I want to see is Earth Queen be really good friends with Korra, and essentially Korra has all these the Earth Queen sets up all these ploys that Korra thinks is something else. Thus, the whole spending half the season, or at least her part of the season, actually all the season, dealing with all these obstacles. To finally, in the last episode, it finally be revealed after like a big death that the Earth Queen is actually the one behind everything, and that's where it ends. Nobody dies in terms of the bad guy doesn't die. Next season, you see Korra finishing off the main villain. That way, you are left with a cliffhanger ending, a major character death, and you have something you don't know at all what's going to happen. There's going to be no new story, at least for the beginning portions of the next one. You have something that's kind of an arc, and I want to see Korra be completely caught off guard, completely shocked, completely beaten, devastated, and defeated in every single way. That's more of a lasting effect.
I could see that, but I don't think the Earth Queen is a big enough threat to do that. What could possibly happen is the Earth Kingdom doesn't like the idea of spirits. They don't want spirits running around.
Yeah, the Earth Kingdom never seemed like a very spiritual place.
They seem like a very business-oriented area.
Yeah.
They get stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Earth Queen might, like, spark up this thing, like, they're going to go to war against the spirits to send them back to where they came from. Kind of like what happened with Juan. So Korra can make that whole, like, Juan thing, and that could carry over to the next season. Like, Korra's defeated by the Earth Queen, and she's forced to flee Bossing Say.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Aang was.
That'd be cool.
Then, the season, like the series finale is the war of the benders versus the spirits, or the humans versus the spirits.
Mm-hmm. So do you still go along with fire being called the last book? Do you think there's a thing to play in that, or do you think that would be completely obliterated? Because we spend so much time on fire, like it would be cool, but maybe it's not even relevant.
It's just speculation, because the first book was about, it was entitled Air, and it was her learning air. Mm-hmm. And then the second book is all about water bending. And then this one, it's hinting towards being Earth.
Isn't it known that like Gray's going to be playing another character next season, and it's potentially like this Opal person, and it could be described as going to be a waterbender that's an anti-hero, or like a villain, or like a threat, or a rival to Korra. Do you think that has something to play in next season too, maybe?
There's been too many goddamn waterbenders.
I know, but I think they're going to do another one.
I hate waterbenders.
What do you feel, Teagan, about another waterbender being in there?
I think it's already been done.
Too much?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. So
we need like a good firebender. We haven't had a good firebender in a long time.
Yeah, we need.
All we've had is Mako for like 3 seasons,
and we need I think we need a better display of the bending. I think
all we've had is these kids just pissing around.
Yeah, I think that you can still use these characters, but you just need to make them more effective. Like again, like we said, you can make Sokka be good with the sword in one episode. There are ways to make Mako and Bolin just good at bending.
Well, Katara learned water bending in one episode.
Yeah, so like I think they need to spend some time on really developing both Bolin and Mako's bending, so that there's an awesome display. Because part of what's cool about Avatar and what was voted on the forums as one of the coolest things was the ability to see awesome bending taking place. And one of the best scenes in Avatar ever was when Ozai and Aang fought, or when Azula and Katara fought, or like. Or when Roku was doing his whole, it's just, those are some of the most memorable scenes. So
and it's always the biggest displays of bending.
Yeah, and I didn't really, my most memorable scene from book 2 was not the Unalak being the Dark Avatar and Korra fighting, because there was really no display of bending there.
Really, I can't think of any memorable scenes.
I like all the Varric scenes. Those are my favorite scenes. And I like Eska and Desna, and I think they're thrown under the rug too much. Obviously, they're not, like, ultimately awesome characters, but their scenes with Bolin and, like, Korra or whatever were kind of cool. I would
have liked to see them done more badass stuff. Like,
yeah.
Another thing that's lacking in Korra is, like, the badass element of fighting. There's not enough.
There's only Korra, really.
Yeah, there's only Korra ever fighting.
I wanted to see more, like, Tunrak, the guerrilla warfare against the Civil War was kind of pushed to the side, but I think they can do that a lot in Book 3.
That was a good scene when they did that, though.
Yeah, it was a good scene. I think they can show a lot more combat in Book 3. With Korra combat, with Mako, Bolin, Asami, if Asami learns how to fight better, or anybody else, the Earth Queen. I don't think the Earth Queen would necessarily be a fighter type, but she's going to have either like the Dai Li or some elite organization of Earthbenders potentially.
I could totally see the Earth Queen being like this really, really badass person who just has to like wave her hand and the whole Earth just shakes.
Yeah. And it could be, Kevil's saying that he's talking about how the Earth Queen could be like one of the ultimate villains, and that who would Korra trust? Could she tell her friends and stuff? And with the entire nation already against her, it's only a matter of time before the Earth Queen manipulates. And that would be an interesting thing if the world kind of did what they did to Aang and kind of turned on him at one point, and Korra was just ultimately left by herself, even not betrayed by her friends, but her friends don't necessarily agree with her, and she's left to do stuff by herself. I think that could be some ultimate development.
We've seen Korra by herself, and it doesn't go too well.
Well, maybe this is time that she actually does something by herself that's good. Because, yeah, you're right. Because every time she's done anything, it's been with the discretion of others with her, I think, ultimately. She might have done it herself physically,
the only reason she runs off is when Mako was mad at me.
Yeah.
Me.
But I think, ultimately, that her decisions need to be completely 100% her own all the time coming up, because if she's the fully realized avatar, if she's going to be taken seriously, she needs to make some good sound decisions without the aid. Where does Tenzin fit in with this whole thing? Do you think that could work? Maybe he knows the Earth Queen because he was a diplomat.
Yeah, it's possible.
Then maybe that's where his role fits in. But do you think we're going to see more just of Korra and like Lin and like Team Avatar 2.0 rather than the Tenzin story arc in this one?
Well, yeah, because I think there was a lot of focus on Tenzin in the last season, and his main conflict is resolved.
Yeah. Well, Teagan, do you think that we're going to be seeing any Republic City, or do you think it's going to be solely focused on Korra's travels rather than splitting it up?
I'm not sure. I want some Republic City, because that's my favorite place.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. Like, it could start in Republic City.
I think it's definitely start.
And then show spirits and stuff, and then lead to Korra having to go travel. But
how about the fact that Mako is a police officer or a detective, and then Bolin's an actor? Do you think that's going to play into Book 3 at all? Because that could restrict them from doing
stuff. I'm not sure. I hope not, because I dislike those stories.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, the whole thing, like putting them into places, it's not working.
Mako could have a compelling storyline if it was based solely off him. Like if you had a Bender that was a cop in Republic City as the main story arc, but I don't know if it necessarily works as a subplot because there's just so much stuff.
Exactly.
Mako Firebender is a cop in Republic City.
Yeah. So
he faces the darkest dangers of the streets.
Do you think, again, like in Season 2, there's going to be a general neglect of his actual duties just to go with Team Avatar?
I would like them to just write that out. Write the cop thing out, write the acting thing out, and just let them travel.
How about the fact that Lin is still like the head of the police? How does that factor in? Do you think, because a lot of people...
she's going to retire.
Yeah? Okay. Because a lot of people think that obviously Lin's going to be a big focus of this season. So is she going to have to retire or leave to be able to explain her story, or is it going to be all in Republic City?
I don't know.
Yeah.
She may be called away. Maybe she's going to become the Earth Queen.
Oh.
She's going to be, like, she's got that royal lineage. Because Beifongs are essentially royalty anyway.
Yeah, they are. Okay.
So, who knows?
All right, so yeah, that's pretty much it for the Earth Queen dialect thing.
It's going to be a very nice Crazy Theories episode.
Yeah, there's a lot they can do with Season 3, and I think it's a delicate balance. It's a very delicate balance. So we'll see what goes on with that. So let us know what you think about the Earth Queen. Kevil's article, he's got like 52 comments, so you can go over and comment some more on that. And if not, you can talk about it in our discussion thread later on.
Or tweet it at us or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever floats your boat.
You know the drill.
Yeah, so I'm just going to go straight on to the context instead of a music break, because if you want this stuff, you probably don't want to go through the music break. So there's been a lot of music breaks today. Mm-hmm. So if you want to find our podcast online, you can go to castbender.ca, and that's really the mecca, the home of everything castbender. So every episode is posted there. You can find the download to the MP3. I know somebody asked last week if they can download it through MP3, and yes, that's definitely a thing. You can stream it. You can download it through an MP3. You can listen to it and subscribe to it on iTunes and YouTube, because all these episodes go up on YouTube. You can go find it on Stitcher Radio. That's a great mobile app for listening to podcasts as well. And you can find it on Avatar: The Legend of Korra Online.com on our podcast portion of the website.
And the other place too.
Oh, and comicrelated.com. You can go find it there. Especially if you like comic book stuff, go check that website out. You can go and visit the forums.
Just look at all the plugs we're giving.
Yeah. And if you want to know more about us personally, you can go to our About page and go to Staff FAQ. If you have any general questions, they are there. And if you don't have any questions...
Any specific questions, whatever, just comment or tweet or
whatever. Yeah, and you can ask us. There's a contact thing. Also, you can donate. So if you choose to donate to our show that we produce as college students every week for your viewing pleasure, you can donate. You get perks as low as $2 to $4, a one-time donation or a monthly donation. And honestly, again, if we didn't love the show, we wouldn't be spending money every month to produce it, because we ultimately wouldn't care. So we do care.
And if you love the show, you have a duty to pay us money to listen to
this. So yeah, thanks everybody for listening to Castbender episode 60, and we'll see you next week.
Good night.